and scientist Lord Kelvin called his 1867 work A Treatise on Natural Philosophy. Both of these books help define modern physics. Theology is traditionally understood as St. Anselm defined it in the 12th century, faith that seeks understanding. Karl Rahner later expanded the definition of theology to be the conscious and methodical explanation of the divine revelation that is received and grasped in faith. Science can be understood as systematized knowledge derived from observation, study, and experimentation. Christian theology, therefore, is the science of Christian faith, based on religious experience. Religious experience is like any natural experience. It is based on revelation. We believe because we accept what we are told by others, or on someone who we reasonably rely. For example, I can say to you, that movie was a revelation to me. Or I could say that what a person said reveals something of which I was not aware. So it is with religious experiences as revelations. I think Galileo Galilei gave a good Christian exposition of the relationship between theology and science in his letter to the Grand Duchess Christina, one of his benefactors. In 1615, Galileo wrote, "The sciences cannot be prerequisites for a theology, but on the other hand, theology cannot ignore what the sciences have found out about God's creation." Theologians make an important distinction. Natural theology means to study what can be known about God by reason, that is, without a specific revelation by God. Natural theology is often considered to be a special discipline of philosophy. We will speak more about natural theology in a future lecture. As we noted, Christian theology is the science of Christian faith. On the other hand, religious studies is the study of all aspects of a particular religion. For example, to understand the Hindu religion, one can study its faith component, the sociology and customs of its members, or any aspect of that religion. Religious studies departments have become popular in many universities and colleges in this country. Tradition. An important component of Christian theology is the study of its tradition. The word tradere in Latin means to hand on or hand over. In 1 Corinthians, St. Paul writes, "For I have received from the Lord what I also handed on to you." Tradition, therefore, is the process in which the revealed truth is handed on. It is derived particularly from the oral preaching of Jesus and the apostles, and with guidance by the Holy Spirit. Very early on, this oral revelation was committed to writings and included letters identified with early apostles. Until the Council of Trent in the 16th century, tradition consisted of the Bible and the deposit of faith, that is, the doctrines, worship, and life of the Church. At the Council of Trent, interpretations were tightened so that a form of traditionalism became popular. Before the Council, tradition was considered to be the living faith of the dead. Some theologians say that at the Council of Trent, tradition became the dead faith of the living. This form of traditionalism was corrected at the Second Vatican Council. For example, one finds the following passage in the dogmatic constitution on divine revelation. "And so the apostolic preaching, which is expressed in a special way in inspired books, was to be preserved by a continuous succession of preachers until the end of time. Therefore the apostles, handing on what they themselves had received, warn the faithful to hold on to the traditions which they have learned either by word or mouth or by letter, and to fight in defense of the faith handed on once and for all." Now, what was handed on by the apostles includes everything which contributes to the holiness of life, an increase of faith of the people of God, and so for generations all that she herself is and all that she believes. The Council Fathers added in a footnote, "This the apostles did in the place by word of mouth." In the first place, by word of mouth. That oral transmission has never ceased in the Church. Preaching, instruction of converts, and catechetics are still oral, person-to-person communication. The message must normally be passed on by personal contact. Christianity